The billionaire lay completely still on his massive king-size bed, eyes shut, breath slow and measured. To anyone watching, he looked deeply asleep, but behind those closed eyes, he was wide awake, and what he was about to witness would change his life forever. This story begins in a mansion so quiet you could hear the ticking of a gold-plated clock echo down the halls. The owner of that mansion was Mr. Alexander Cole, self-made billionaire, feared businessman, and a man who believed one painful truth. People are only kind when they think someone is watching. That belief came from betrayal, friends who used him, family who vanished when money ran out, and employees who smiled only because they were paid to. So when his loyal maid Maria asked for permission to bring her 10-year-old son to work one afternoon, something dark and curious sparked in his mind. He agreed, but with a plan. Maria had worked in the mansion for 11 years, never late, never stole, never complained. But Alexander didn't believe loyalty passed through blood, so he decided to test the boy. That afternoon, Alexander called Maria into his room and complained of dizziness. He told her he needed rest and ordered her to clean quietly while he slept. As she tucked the blanket around him, he slightly opened one eye, just enough to see. Moments later, Maria returned with her son Ethan. "Sit here and stay quiet," she whispered. "Don't touch anything." "Yes, Mama," the boy replied softly. Maria left to clean the bathroom. The room fell silent. Alexander waited. This was the moment. The boy was alone with a billionaire, priceless artifacts, gold watches on the bedside table, and a phone worth more than most people's salaries. Alexander expected curiosity, temptation, maybe even theft. Instead, Ethan slowly stood up and walked toward the bed. Alexander's heart skipped. The boy looked at him closely. Then he reached out, not for the gold watch, but for the blanket. He gently pulled it up, covering Alexander's shoulder. "You might catch a cold," Ethan whispered. Alexander's throat tightened. The boy turned away but then stopped. He noticed the billionaire's breathing sounded uneven. Ethan ran out of the room. Alexander smirked internally. So this is where the act ends, he thought. But minutes passed. Then Ethan returned, carrying a glass of water and some pills. "Mama said when people breathe like this, they need help," the boy murmured. He placed the water on the table, climbed onto the chair, and gently tapped Alexander's arm. "Sir, if you're awake, please take this. I don't want you to die." The words hit Alexander like ice. He had staged business traps, legal traps, loyalty traps, but never this. The boy sat beside the bed and began talking softly. "My mama works very hard. She cries at night when she thinks I'm asleep. She says this house saved us. If you are sleeping, thank you for helping her. If you're dead, please wake up." Alexander broke. His eyes flew open. Ethan jumped back in fear. "I'm sorry, I didn't touch anything. I swear." But instead of anger, Alexander sat up, eyes wet. "You passed the test," he whispered. Ethan didn't understand. Maria rushed in, terrified. "Sir, I'm so sorry." But Alexander raised his hand. "No, I should be apologizing." He looked at Ethan and asked one simple question. "Why didn't you take anything?" Ethan shrugged. "Because none of it belongs to me. And Mama says good people don't take from sleeping people, especially when they trust you." Silence swallowed the room. That night, Alexander made a decision that shocked everyone. He paid for Ethan's education, private school, college, everything. He promoted Maria and gave her a home of her own. But more than that, he changed. The man who tested people in secret learned something priceless. That kindness doesn't need witnesses, and sometimes the smallest hearts teach the richest souls how to be human. If this story touched you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, because stories like this remind us that goodness still exists, even when no one is watching.